Welcome to the September Layer 7 office hours. I'm Pam Deason, the marketing manager for Layer 7. Today, we're going to be hearing from Greg Thompson, who's the product manager for Layer 7. But before we get started, I did want to remind everyone, right now you're muted. However, you can take yourself off of mute anytime during the presentation and ask questions. We prefer for it to be interactive, so feel free, right, to take yourself off mute and just, ask your questions. If you, for some reason, prefer not to verbalize your questions, you'd rather type them, that's okay too. There is a section in the panel where you can type your questions, and we'll make sure at the end that we review and go over all of them. And then real quick, before we do get started, in the handout section, just want to remind everyone, if you haven't heard, there are some events, customer appreciation events coming up in October. So there's one on October 14th in Alpharetta, Georgia. There's another one October 21st that will be in Edison, New Jersey. We invite you to, if you're in that area, to come and join us and have fun. There will be Top Golf. And in each of these locations, we're going to host a Top Golf event in the afternoon. In the handouts, you'll see, then once you download them, there's a registration link. If you'd like to join us, just register and come join us and have fun. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Greg.
All right, thanks, Pam. Yeah, so for this month, we're going to be talking about the newly released experimental release of the security intelligence capabilities of Layer 7. That was announced out of the community, I believe, last Friday. So we're going to go over what that provides, give a demo of it, and talk about how you can get access to it. Because in the end, we ultimately want to do this to get your feedback and input to make sure this set of capabilities is going to help you with managing Layer 7. As always, some of the stuff we're talking about here is future and subject to change. So we always have this disclaimer just to indicate there's no commitment here, but because plans do change over time. All right, jumping right in. So the capabilities that we're supporting are going to be based on what has historically been called the Layer 7 API Developer Portal. We've kind of shortened that just the Layer 7 Portal for now. We might come up with a better name in the future, but for right now, just calling it Layer 7 Portal. The idea is it's going to expand beyond just API management. So today, Portal as the API management portal, right? The thing that does governance, provides the ability to publish APIs and let developers discover them, and do all the things around that. As we move forward, the portal is going to become more of the central point to observe and manage all the Layer 7 configuration, even if you're not doing kind of classical API management. So, even when adopting the portal to leverage features like the intelligence capabilities that we'll be talking about today, future capabilities around configuration and infrastructure management, all that's going to be put into the portal. And you won't have to do API management, right? If you really want to just leverage the capabilities for the intelligence, for the configuration management capabilities, you can do that without having to leverage and use the portal for API management. So it will be kind of configurable and give you the option of leveraging the parts of it that you wish to leverage. So from security intelligence capabilities, what we'll be seeing today, what we have now is based on a highly configurable rules engine. So the idea is you're going to be able to take all the configuration within the gateways and ultimately within the portal as well from the API management side, and create your own rules around those. And those will help you with gaining insights into one of the classical examples I like to talk about is certificates, right? So you can easily create a rule that says, show me all the certificates that are going to expire in the next 60 days, and you'll very quickly have that list and be able to take some action on that. As you create these rules, right, they're going to help you find configuration problems. You can create rules that'll help you look for things that maybe are missing or maybe different between different gateways. Just help you kind of just better gain all the configuration insights there in a central place. And you'll be able to create dashboards so that you'll be able to log in and see that report and quickly see what's changed and what the current view of the system is. And there's also the ability to trigger reporting of that on a periodic basis. Right now, that'll be based on email, but in the future, we do plan to add other ways of reporting that information out. Okay, so for the experimental release, the support for that's going to start with Gateway 11.2. So part of this experimental release includes an experimental version of Gateway 11.2 with the enabled capabilities. The way this works is Kafka is being used to securely communicate any changes from the gateway to the portal. So anytime you add a new policy, you change something in the configuration, maybe it's a JDBC connection, adding certificate, whatever, the gateway is going to essentially push that information over Kafka, and the portal will pick that up and put it in its repository, and all the rules are driven off what's stored in the repository. So as you're creating these rules and running them, they're working off of the data stored within the portal stack. And that portal stack is updated via the Kafka queue as thing changes in real time. For this release, we're focused only on gateway data, so any of the entities of the gateway. But in the future, we do plan to add things from the portal as well. So if you're using the portal for API management, you'll be able to include that information within the rules as well. And as I mentioned before, the rules can be showed on the dashboard, and you can also set them up for email notifications. Just a very quick look at the high-level architecture here. So essentially, you have the gateway here on the right-hand side. It has the Kafka client, which is used to basically push changes as they happen on the gateway. On the left-hand side, we've labeled this Layer 7 control plane. This is the portal stack as we know it. So API management is part of that. The intelligence features, which we're talking about today, are part of that. And then in the future, infrastructure management will be part of that. And we'll talk a little bit more about that towards the end of this session. And then here we're showing a Layer 7 MCP server. So we do have plans in the future to enable an MCP server. Not there yet today, but it is something that we're looking at adding in the future. All right, with that, I'm going to just jump into a quick demo here. Are there any questions before I do that? All right, if not, I'm going to log into this portal instance. Great. You'll see when you first log in, it looks just like Portal. If you're familiar with Portal, right now we have a tab at the top for intelligence, or a menu item for intelligence. Clicking on this will take you to the intelligence section. Do note in the future, things like enrolling gateways will be brought up kind of at a higher level. So today, when you enroll a gateway with the portal, it's done kind of under the API management side. But we do plan to bring in entities that kind of cover across beyond API management into a more central place within the overall portal stack. So again, if you turn off API management, for example, you still see the ability to see your gateways and enroll those and manage those. When we first log in, we're taken to the dashboard. So the dashboard is where the configuration of all your existing rules that you've set to be displayed on the dashboard are shown. The first one I'm listing here is showing all the certificates that are going to expire in the next 90 days, or some that have already expired. You'll note you do have the ability here to sort this. So if I were to click on end date, for example, it'll sort that by end date. And you'll see kind of about some of the other rules here that we've created right here on the dashboard. To create a rule, basically what we're going to do, I'm just going to get the GoToMeeting out of my way. We're going to go to the Rules tab and just click Add Rule. In this case, I'll just create one around certificates. So you'd click on Add Entity. I would pick on the Trusted Certificate. If I click nothing and I just hit apply, what it'll do is it'll show me all the current trusted certificates configured here within the gateway or within the gateways that are connected here to the portal. I can edit this rule to refine what I'm looking at. So if I go here in a trusted certificate and click add condition, I could do something like click on the end date and say rolling days are less than say, let's say 60 days. So this will start to show me any certificates that are basically have an end date or going to expire in the next 60 days. If I want to see more information, I can click on Show Attributes. This will allow me to essentially add more information to this table. So if I wanted to say see the start date and the subject the end, I can just select those and I can drag the order of these around here on the left-hand side as well. I'm going to click apply. So once you've done that, you'll now see that this information is shown here. If I wanted to change this, right, let's say I want to make it, I decided instead of 60 days, I want to say 100 days, I could do that. You'll see more certificates start to pop in. And, if I wanted to further refine this, for example, I've got a couple of different domains listed here, one for Google, one for example.com. I could also then go in and apply a rule to filter this down to specific domains. If I go click add condition, and I could say subject, well, let's say certificate name contains let's say just example.com. I can apply that, and now we'll see that Google disappeared here from this. Now I can give the rule a name, so let's call this one certs expiring less than 100 days. I can give it a name. I click save. If I want to add it to the dashboard page, all I need to do is just click add dashboard. And if I want to do the action of sending an email, I can do that as well. So I just click on add action. In this case, email results is the only form we're supporting now. But again, we will plan to add more in the future. And here I can basically say, what's the cadence? Is it daily, weekly, monthly, a certain time? I can enter the email addresses. And then from a content point of view, if I want to customize the subject, add some introductory text, add a signature, I can do that as well. And so once I've done this, I'll be able to, see it on the dashboard, and then I'll get email results of these reports on a periodic basis. Right, are there any questions so far? Okay, if not, let's take a look at a little bit more advanced rule. So I'm going to add another rule here, and this one I'm going to basically look at, let's say, services. So I'm looking for services. Actually, let me do it based on a assertion instead. I want to look for basically assertions such as the require SSL. So I can actually search this list here. I can basically see other attributes that I want to filter by. So if I want to see the assertion path, right? I could do that. For this case, I'll just say no filter. So here I'll be able to click on the assertion, and then if I wanted to see its usage, I want to see where that assertion is used by a service. I can apply that. So now I can start to see, the services that are using this, and then we have this option here to drill down. If you drill down, you'll be able to click in kind of inside that table. Then I could decide to show more attributes here as well. So I could show like the folder path, the resolution path, for example, add those, and that will start to show up here in this table as well. And of course, I'm going to get an error there. So it gets, can get pretty advanced here in terms of the combinations of ways of looking at rules and looking at the various data. So it's, again, it's pretty powerful in terms of kind of going through this and creating the rules and creating different combinations and filters and such. But it's all driven here based off of this. And of course, behind the scenes, there is an API. As with anything we do in the portal, it's an API first design. So you can also programmatically create these rules via the API as well. Okay, just going to cancel out of that. And then see, here's another example of a rule, right? This is one that is showing any services that are not using that require SSL. Again, if I wanted to further refine this, I could filter out the OAuth services, for example. So I could basically say add a condition, and I could say the let's see, the service folder path does not contain OAuth. Apply that, and that'll start to filter out anything in the folder. In fact, I probably should have done OTK for that folder path. So let me actually change that. Oops. Put OTK instead of OAuth. That'll filter out all the policies from underneath OTK. So now that I'm seeing basically any other services that are not using require SSL. So again, you can get pretty advanced with this in terms of filtering down to very specific entities and options here, and very configurable in terms of the data that you're actually showing as well. All right. If there are no questions, I'm going to jump back to the slide deck. So our next plans here for this set of capabilities is going to be centered around what we're calling infrastructure management. This first goal of the infrastructure management, first deliverable, will be around patch management. So the idea here is you would be able to get a gateway patch, upload it to the portal, and then remotely apply those patches to the gateways. So you could quickly see, use the rules from the intelligence stuff that we just talked about to see which versions of gateways are running and what patch levels they are all on, and then be able to take the action of applying patches to those gateways. And then beyond that, we're looking at adding, the migration of policy and configuration, being able to actually run Policy Manager on the stack and connect to various gateways remotely. So it just kind of gives you that centralized policy authoring view instead of having to navigate to each individual gateway independently. We talked about the MCP server that we'll be looking to add, and then more advanced actions that are intelligence-based, right? So leveraging more of the rules that are put in place, integration through the MCP server, things like that, to be able to take other actions beyond just email, what we have today. So if any of you are interested in using this, basically what you need to do is just reach out to me, so gregory.thompson@broadcom.com. We have two approaches for how you can load this up and try it out. The first is we can provide the actual artifacts in a box folder, or we can upload to a support case if you're not able to get to box. But that's going to include both the portal and a gateway, right? So right now there are some gateway changes that will be in 11.2 that will enable this interaction. So you will need to have both the portal and the gateway artifacts that you can install in your own environment. The second way of doing this, and the most quickest and fastest and easiest, this is to use the VMware Lab platform. So we have access to this VMware Lab platform. That's a full sandbox and it's ready to use. Basically, you'll just tell us that's what you want to do. We'll give you a set of credentials. You'll log in to this lab. And basically you have like a Windows machine that you'll have access to. It'll have Policy Manager on it. It'll have the web browser, and you'll be able to try this out right there in that environment. We do have limits around access time, so we can be flexible on that, right? But usually it's going to give you access for a couple of weeks or something like that. But it is an environment that's all set up and ready to go. All you need to do is log in and kind of start using it. As a reminder, as with all experimental features, support is only through the Layer 7 community. So while we could use a support case to get you the artifacts if needed, Broadcom support will not be able to assist you with any challenges you could run into or any feedback that you have. So all that really should come through the community or contacting me directly. We can arrange some help if needed. And then lastly, your feedback is requested, right? The reason we release these experimental capabilities is really to get this in front of our user community, get ideas, get feedback, kind of understand if it's its usefulness, how it's going to help you, what could we do better, all that kind of stuff. So we definitely want to understand like how you feel about the UI experience as you go through the idea of creating these rules. We have a few rules that are provided out of the box. If you have others that you think would be good to be added, we definitely love that kind of feedback. How valuable you're finding these capabilities, and any ideas around additional capabilities. So yeah, as you get access to this and try it out, any and all feedback is absolutely welcome. We'd also love to have a session with you once you've had some time to work with us and just kind of just have an interactive discussion around some of your experiences. So again, definitely welcome you to try this out, and as much feedback we could get as possible would be greatly appreciated. So with that, that's really all I had for today. So I'll go turn it back over. Are there any questions that have not been answered yet?
Yeah, as a reminder, you guys can just take yourselves off mute if you choose to ask a question.
Morning,
Or
Greg.
you can type it in. Either one. Go ahead. Sorry.
On the assertions, you use the SSL. Does that do custom assertions as well?
I believe custom assertions would show up there as an option. The way we've done this is all kind of dynamically generated for what's on the gateway. I don't know if Gary, if you know that answer off the top of your head, but I'm pretty sure it does, but we'll need to double check for sure.
Hey, sorry, I was double muted. Yeah, that's my understanding as well, is that they should show up.
Perfect, thank you.
So someone has asked for your email, Greg. I'm putting it in the chat right now to everyone.
All right, thanks, Pam. Oh, okay, yeah, sorry, I realized I had the question panel there. So there's a question from Remco about the patches. If we mean monthly security patches and version upgrades, yes and yes. So yeah, you'd be able to do both. All right, see, would I be able to add MySQL to check out the newer version of policy version during testing phases? It's something I'd love to check out. Oh, myself, sorry. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Okay. I think that's all there so far. Any?
Yeah, I'm not seeing any more either, Greg.
Yeah, so if there are no more, that's great. Hopefully that was all, clear,
Okay.
self-explanatory. But whoop, yeah, okay. Yeah, but yeah, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Like I said, we'd love to get as many folks as possible trying this out, giving us feedback, and yeah, look forward to working with everyone.
Okay. Well, thank you, Greg, and thanks everyone for joining today. There will be a recording of this that's available. It will be on our YouTube channel. In the meantime, if you do have questions, you feel free to reach out to me. Again, Pamela.deason@broadcom.com. Thank you, everyone.